Hello, hello. Welcome to Adventures for Connection with Ashala. We're very excited. I don't know why that's playing. We did not go live on Rumble, so I'm letting everyone know to just pop over to either YouTube or Facebook. And so I'm just going to make a comment on there. Please go to YouTube. Perfect. Ashala, how are you?
I'm really well. I'm not as golden glowing as the two of you are. But my heart's feeling pretty golden and glowing. So
good. Yeah, that's all that matters. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. Awesome. Awesome. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Molson. How are you? Good to have you here. Yeah. So I put a note up on there so they see it, but I'm not going to try and rekey the whole thing at this point. So something got missed and it's likely human error. I'll take responsibility. Yeah. Today we had a beautiful sunny day. Absolutely beautiful day. Every day I get up, go down to the beach, walk with a drink and look for shells that might have come in overnight and check out if there's any new fishies hanging out. We've seen leopard fish and a small stingray, another fish that's really turquoise, a little trigger fish, and some long skinny looking fish that originally Norma thought one of them was seaweed, but it wasn't. It was very interesting. And then another silvery one. So there's definitely some fish here, which is really cool. And yeah, today there was some kids down there, went for a paddleboard this afternoon, got Norma out. Norma learned how to paddleboard.
Wow, fun.
Yeah, so some good entertainment for sure. Yeah, for sure, some good entertainment. And yeah, we're excited to be here with you to chat about this full moon.
Yeah.
Wolf, and it's apparently a Leo full moon.
Yep.
And so, yeah, what do you want to share about that, Ashala?
Well, I can tell you just off the top of my head what I know about it historically, and then especially this year, it's just like it seems exponentially bigger and more potent than ever. So the full moons once every month, they go through all the 12 signs, a different sign each month. And so what it means is kind of like putting a spotlight or really externalizing whatever that sign is about. So Leo is about courage. It's about our hearts. It's the heart chakra. It's also about being loud and proud and feeling really confident, feeling really personally empowered and not being afraid to take up space, not being afraid to be seen. Yeah. And so, you know, in every life, we're so blessed to have some Leo energy come into our hearts and give us the courage to step out into the bigger version of who we are. And this year, because I forgot when I was doing my soul sampler a few days back on Sunday, I forgot that the Leo moon was happening before my next soul sampler. And the cards that I drew were just off the charts. It was love, 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 like every aspect of love, self-love, you know, promoting yourself, seeing yourself in a different light, in a really exalted light, less critical, you know, less fixated on the little issues that you don't like about yourself or that you're trying to like hide from in yourself. Yeah. It's almost like just totally slanting the pendulum to the other side and seeing your strengths, seeing your beauty, seeing your gifts. And then it was almost like we were all doing that and doing it for and with each other. So I saw, you know, connections blossoming, people being seen by others, relationships being activated, partnerships aligning, like just beautiful energy, more than usual. You know, to me, the Leo full moon often has to do with courage and confidence. But this year, it feels like it has to do with a deep, deep rebirth of love, a huge heart healing, humanity wide.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Beautiful.
That's my first take. That's just, yeah, like what I'm sensing is different and really special. So it starts a few days before the full moon, which is, guess what? Right now.
Right? Yeah.
And it goes for a few days after. So this whole stretch of probably about
there
10
it
days.
is.
Oh my gosh, really? It is?
Let me see if we can show you. It's just peeking.
Oh yeah, it'll probably come up while we're chatting. Woo-hoo!
Yeah. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I can say this whole week. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Shelley. Hello, Mel C. Good to see you guys. I this week have been feeling my crown on fire, definitely full of expansion. We spent the other night just hanging out and watching the moon for hours and the stars because we could. It cleared up enough and was beautiful. We've had a few storms around here for sure, which again I think was a clearing, and I really feel like there's been this lift of energy, like something dark was cleared out. That's how it's been feeling like, and like this celebration feeling to it, which is really beautiful. Yeah.
The clouds have been speaking that for the last few days. It's just been, what I can see is so much beauty, because it was like, instead of the clouds moving in from the ocean in this direction after Wednesday night, Tuesday night.
Yeah.
By Wednesday, they were moving in this direction, and they were fluffy. They were so expressive, and I was like, look at that. And they were coming from both directions and kind of like meeting in the middle, which is beautiful in its own right, because it was like that night, it was so experiential, because it was, to me, the moon was the center. It was the portal of the umbilical cord from the womb, so to speak. And it's just been nothing but love in my heart, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I can visualize it. And
would you like to do a little card pull for the collective today around
I'd love to.
Full moon?
Absolutely. Just shuffling. I already cleared the cards before we started. It's interesting because, as you're saying, like something dark has lifted, and what I'm aware of and noticing that I just really appreciate is that, sometimes I think we feel like the dark lifts and we get this huge, beautiful wave of light and evolution and healing. And then we perceive the dark coming back, and people go, oh no, we've lost our mojo. It's not happening. And I just always sense, especially in these times, that it's really about deepening. Like every time we have one of these beautiful waves of healing, restoration, we get stronger, we get more potent, we get bigger and brighter. And then we can heal more darkness. So instead of seeing like, oh no, I must have done something wrong because the darkness is back, notice how fast it transforms. It's like there's going to be beautiful, warm, healing, restorative, courageous energy continually flooding us in the days and weeks and months and years ahead.
Yeah.
So we can get through, we can roll up our sleeves and really take responsibility for getting so much cleared on this planet.
Yes.
Because there's so many of us, and it's magnifying.
Oh yeah.
So that's my little rant on it. I'm going to lay the cards down here. Excuse me. And okay. So interesting. I love this. This card, even though everybody looks at it, goes, oh my God, what is that? Right? It's like, ouch, ouch, ouch. Three of Swords. I asked, what do we need to know? What's the message for the collective around this time? before I'd even laid the cards down, I was starting to speak to this. This is us, strong, self-actualizing, independent, sovereign. So we are getting stronger and more purposeful, more self-directed and aware every day. And what it allows us to do is what I want to call open heart surgery. Perfect. So when this card comes up, it is not like, oh no, something's going to be bad. It's actually like something is going to heal. Something's going to get, deeply healed. And so it's our hearts, everybody. It's our hearts that are on the healing agenda this week, probably even the rest of this month and into next month till the next full moon. So part of that healing is the courage to stand up, make boundaries where you need to, starting within yourself. So boundaries is a big part of what this full moon is bringing to us. And vision, self-acknowledgement. And then we have, as the next step, the hanging man, which again, people go, oh no, what does this mean? Like, does this mean something?
I love it.
The hanging man is literally, the guys are saying, be prepared to see your life from a whole other direction. Be prepared to see yourself from, I want to say, the way spirit sees you, the way creator sees you. Be prepared to be really turned inside out and see just how beautiful and powerful you are. That's what it is.
Lift yourself upright.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, you don't even know you're upside down, right? Or that you need to be. So, absolutely.
Yeah, and then the courage is, well, we're going to know we're really progressing when there's a lot of, I want to say, there's a lot of opportunity for us to be expressing our deepest feelings and also to have really deep feelings. I don't know about all of you, but, well, I'm a Gemini for starters, so I spend a lot of time up in my head. And I feel like also a truther, so spend a lot of time in information and in, being informed and up to date on what's happening. But all of that is quite removed from the heart. And it's almost like we need to process all this information, all this data that we've been ingesting over the last 4 years. We need to process it right here. And this moon in Leo is giving us that gift. So when your heart starts to just feel emotion, big emotion moving, you know that you're really receiving that gift of this Leo moon.
See? I was crying about selling my bike. My bike suddenly sold, and I actually had a bit of a tear. She's like, I don't know what to do with that. Because I've had so much fun on that bike.
Yeah. And being surprised a little bit by our own feelings, right? It's like, what? I'm feeling this? Like, what's happening to me? Like,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's okay.
It's more than okay. It's a sign that we're receiving that gift. Yeah.
100%. Hi, Janice. Hi, Robert. Good to see you guys. Hello, Brian. Wonderful. Hello, Donna. Beautiful. Welcome to a chat with Ashala regarding this full moon and the current energies right now, which are really beautiful. And it's that reminder for you guys to realize, what do you need to let go of? That's what full moons are for. That was a beautiful reading, Ashala. Thank you. It was perfect. Yeah, as always. Yeah, you're magic with those cards. Absolutely. You're the energy you have with them and with spirit and the messaging you get is a beautiful combination that I really honor and respect. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And for everyone on the call, this is your reminder to what do you need to let go of? Because you often can't let something in new until you let go of the old. So you can make a list of the things you don't want anymore and burn that list safely or tear it up in little tiny pieces and throw it away. But I love to burn, especially on a Leo moon. Little fire in there can't hurt. And then make up an affirmation list of what you want to stand in. So what is the opposite of those things on that list that you're getting rid of that you want to stand in now and elevate yourself up? That would be fantastic. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, that would be fantastic for you to do this tonight. Also, you can charge water outside, charge crystals outside, whatever your process is for full moons, or do nothing at all. It's up to you, but I bet you're feeling it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any plans for tonight, Ashala?
Actually, no, not really. This whole week, my daughter's been away. She's actually in Mexico. And so I've just had such an incredible, I feel like the whole week has been like a kind of ceremony for me. I mean, I've been working, but I've also been doing so much visioning, so much ceremonial kind of clearing and healing and lighting candles and doing cards and doing prayers and affirmations and lots of visioning and planning. And I have this big binder. Well, I actually have several of them, but I have one for business and one for personal. And I do this kind of like looking through them as often as I can, at least 2 or 3 times a week. And this week I spent a lot of time like designing new vision, new intentions, new goals, but also just new reflections and perspectives on where I'm at and, taking that time to really integrate a lot of what's transformed in the last few weeks and months. So I feel quite satiated with all of that. I feel like I've been doing the full moon work for this whole week. My daughter gets back the day after tomorrow. I'm working tomorrow and the next day. So I think I'll probably just have a hot bath and go to bed early tonight.
There you go. Absolutely. Yeah. Molson's asking, so tell us again, please, what charging water outside under a full moon helps with.
Okay.
I like to charge it, and then I take a little sip of it every day, and I drink in the affirmations that I set into the water. So you can set the affirmations. You could write on the outside of the water. Remember, water has memory. So working with water, not playing, but working with water in that aspect can be a really beautiful way of talking to your bath water, for example, for Ashala, right? Infusing what you do want. I know that Blue had an event with Matthias while they were on this trip in Egypt, and it was really beautiful because he went and toned the bathwater for her and then put her in the bath. So with rose petals and right. So it was a really beautiful ceremony for someone going through a transition as he was leading her through something that she was struggling with. So it was really, really beautiful. Yeah. Really beautiful. Yeah. What about you for the water? Anything you want to add?
It's great out here because not much before us being able to take these trips have I been able to really connect with earth, so to speak, in ways with bare feet, and being able to get into the ocean and take in those light codes, take in whatever memory that ocean is carrying, and then on top of that, knowing that my feet are touching sand. And as you know, sand is made up of shells, it's made up of crystals, it's made up of so many beautiful minerals and all the beautiful what's the word I'm looking for here? It's like a conglomerate of all these different beings in themselves that are here that work together to create, things like sand for individuals like myself to be able to enjoy. And it really helps me to embody more of my higher self in this form. So it's been great. It's been beautiful. And water is so purifying, especially when you speak those powerful words to it, because water only reflects what you speak to it.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. You know, it's interesting because when we think about, like you were saying, charging your water, and obviously a great thing to charge it with at this Leo full moon, you know, each full moon is going to have a slightly different perspective or energy that is naturally in such strong affinity with it based on what sign it's in. So as I was saying before, love and courage and healing the heart. Well, it's the same, just like you were saying, Norma, it's the same with the planet. The planet is also healing, you know, her heart chakra and her hurts. She's also feeling seen. She's also feeling like empowered to be the best version of herself right now and to feel the love. So guess what? We send that love to her. She's going to get it extra strong tonight and over these few days around the Leo moon. And so it's reciprocal, right? We give that. And like you were saying, send that, you know, offer your water, charge it with those intentions of love, of healing, purification, of empowerment, of beauty, and then offer that back to the earth. You do set a tone that heals all the other beings and the natural world in such a beautiful way. And it takes so little, really, time and energy and effort. But I feel like part of what we stumble with is we feel the immensity of all of it. We feel the immensity of creation, of the chaos. We feel the immensity of all the issues. And we think, what is my little drops of water going to make a difference, right? You know, it's like, oh, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I'm doing fluffy stuff or something, right? But that's the beauty of it. It's that humility of, you know, this is all I have, you know, like the little drummer boy, right? It's like, all I have is my little drops of water with my love in them here, and take what I have with all my heart, you know? And wow, like they're saying, please don't underestimate the courage it takes to stand in the grandness of all that and say, what I feel and what I have to share does make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because every day when I go down to the water, I send out a love vibration through the water, through the sand, through the shells, through the wind, the ether, the clouds, the trees. And we can actually see the beings in the trees, which are ancient indigenous from here. They look like they're in their, right?
Regalia, yeah.
Some of them stand up like you're like, oh, it's surprising to see, but it's like, we see you.
Right. It's so profound to be able to know that when the indigenous always talked about our spirit guides are always with us. Our ancestors are with us. They literally are. They're in the trees. They're in the water. They're in the land. They're in the rock. They're in the mountains.
Yeah.
They are what creates this place. I mean, when you come to understand the 5 elements that help create all this outside of us, because first it was within us. And as we came here and was exploring, this is how we understand our creativeness, is that we began to create the things we knew were within us.
Yeah.
And so as time goes by and, you know, our ancestors finish their many cycles here in the manifest, they chose to come here to guide us, to be with us, to continue that frequency, that vibration, that energy that we would stay connected to. So it's found. It's so beautiful to be able to understand that at a level that we would still understand if, the ones that, lost their connectivity because of this right here, by wanting to experience what was outside them, thinking that that was what was real instead of what was within.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Thank you for that. So powerful.
Yeah. And what about Earth? Can we do a few cards for Mother Earth today? What would you share there?
Look at that. I just had the 2 cards in my hand. Temperance, the angel of healing and balance. And the 2 of Wands. You see the globe there? There's the globe in that individual's hands, and they're looking at the big picture. I keep feeling and hearing that some of us are experiencing some anxiety about how much chaos and darkness is raising to the surface at this time, and also what appears to be a lot of destruction on our beautiful home planet. And what I keep hearing is that there's a wisdom in the evolutionary process that's beyond our understanding, or our understanding at this point. But it's interesting, the personality or the quality of Leo is, even in the face of all that uncertainty and all that chaos and all that, potential negative focus. Leo, if you have any Leo friends, they always have a way of, oh, is that you, Tanya? Oh, well, let me just toot your Leo horn here for a little bit. Because what I love about Leos is that they're like, oh yeah, everything's going awry and there's all this issue, but I need some care here. Let's look after me. Okay. It's like, they're just unabashedly like, I deserve to have attention. It doesn't matter what's happening. It's like, I'm part of divinity and creation. And I'm not going to let all this outer stuff distract me from loving this being. Now, the Leo will love everyone like that as well. They will see you like that. They will say, why are you spending so much time focusing on all the negative? Why not you just see so much love inside of yourself and around yourself? So this is a great sort of boost of Leo energy. This is the biggest boost we're going to get all year for the rest of us that don't live as close to that heart chakra center. And if Leos, sometimes Leos can get a little bit self-centered and, there have been known to be somewhat narcissistic, some of them, but there's so many healthy aspects to the exalted version of that sign. And if you know anyone that is like that, like our beautiful Tanya here, just take a page from their playbook and notice how it is that they prioritize. There's always room for coming back into the heart.
Absolutely.
So let's look at this Earth. Oh my goodness. I'm excited to show you all this. Yeah. Okay. So, big message here, folks. This is us. And the Hierophant is, the good aspects of the Hierophant is that, we can teach the masses by developing our own mastery and becoming guides and leaders for others. So most of you that are tuning in to this chat are in this category of being, I want to say, the mentors, the guides, the leaders for others. And what Earth wants you to do is stay in this frequency of love and celebration. 3 of Cups. You know, play and joy is revolutionary. As we go through these chaotic nodes, it's not something to be ashamed of. You know, when I did my elemental healing summer for 3 months, I literally like luxuriated in nature and cared for myself and healed myself for 3 solid months but communing with the elements, with the natural elements, just like you both are doing down there. And all of this was happening. You know, this was like just when the war broke out in Ukraine and everybody, like the channels were just blowing up with all of this challenge and chaos and disturbing stuff. And I, you know, was kind of a little bit almost shy about saying, this is what I'm focusing on. And yet I felt that as I was healing and focusing on the joy and the celebration, I could bring that perspective to every conversation, every interaction with others. I could almost filter the information and those events through this lens. And that was giving the whole earth. It was a radical, revolutionary thing to do. And it takes courage to live in love and the frequency of joy and celebration while you know so much of the suffering. So the earth is saying, step by step, moment by moment, you know, keep your feet on the ground and your heart open. And interesting. Wow, this is a big throw the gauntlet down from Spirit. And I've heard this before, but they want us to say it again. If you are not prepared to actually do something about whatever issue it is that you're considering, if you're not prepared to actually take a tangible step to do something as a solution to whatever that thing is, you're making it worse by focusing on it.
Yep, because you're giving it energy.
Yes.
So they're not saying don't focus on it. They're just saying you're only allowed to if you're actually going to take pragmatic steps to do something.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of what we're working on is everybody's waiting for these humanitarian projects to start them. And I'm like, you start it now. You do it now. You don't wait. And so we're working on a date to pull some people together to just have that conversation, because I mean, I can look at almost anybody with their vision and what they want to do and see the steps they need to take to start it now with no money even, right? There's actions you can still take to start letting Spirit know, I want to go in this direction. And you're absolutely right. I've been saying for some time, and we agreed, what you focus on, you get more of. So you're going to focus on the doom and gloom, or are you going to focus on what you do want? Because when you elevate your energy and your frequency, you go up to the collective and it elevates everyone. So therefore you are helping in your own way. There is no other action that you must take or must do unless you're leading it with love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know, this isn't about avoiding the challenging stuff. This isn't about closing your heart to suffering. It's about looking at all of that square in the eye and saying, okay, here's a pain point. Here is something, like, here's a challenge that the universe is providing us right now. You know, whatever it is, you know, homelessness, addictions, and mental health issues, or, you know, the cabal and global control by the elites, or whatever it is. It's like when we look at the different, you know, factions that are warring in different parts of the planet. Every time we look at the trauma and the pain, if we can say, what can I do in my world to respond to that in a meaningful way? You know, like, what is an antidote? Just like you said, Tanya, what's the antidote to that? And how can I step into actualizing that antidote as soon as possible, even if I start really small? And it's not about saying, you know, it's almost like those things inform us about why we want to care so much and really get involved.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
You know, when we come to understand that once we stop the warring within ourselves, the warring outside of us will begin to stop.
Yes.
Where we stop the separation, where we stop the bigotry, where we stop the race wars, where we stop the when we remain in that understanding that none of us are separate from one another at all. It doesn't matter the tone of your skin color. It doesn't matter. We're all connected.
Yeah.
We're all connected. And once we stop the warring within ourselves and the separation within ourselves, it will begin to stop out here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why self-love is so radical. It's
Yes.
such a radical act, because to really do it, we've got to be prepared to also face and embrace the parts of ourselves that we don't like. So that, you know, you were saying just before we started, Tanya, like inner work is the order of the day.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm being shown right now, you know, inner work in balance with outer solution-based, actualized, pragmatic steps is the beautiful balance. And again, you know, and then maybe the third thing is the magic and the, you know, those blessings and spreading the love and sending it in all directions. And I think, you know, we get afraid and we get caught up in feeling we're so programmed for efficiency, right? Like, well, if it's not going to work, why should I bother?
Right.
You know? Like, well, so basically we're stealing energy from the potential future by saying the only way I'm going to get involved is if I see immediate results. It's a little bit immature, right? It's like, it's like, I'm a baby and I want results now.
Right. Right.
Totally. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There's so much I can speak to that, because it's like, as human beings, we must understand what we do within. It can be immediate when we understand it. But in this manifested stating of this world, it takes time.
It takes time.
Yeah. Because if it was instant, you know what your life would really look like? Cancel that, because it needs to take time to massage it along. It makes sense. That is the whole point of this realm, so to speak. And, you know, each and every one of us, it's those pragmatic steps every day. Have a routine in the morning. Have those affirmations. Have that ability to be kind to yourself. Oh, weird that I'm thinking that right now. Let's just flick it away. And what can I focus on that's more positive? Yeah. Just remind everyone, be very careful about what you're consuming, because your subconscious does not know the difference, whether it's real or a movie or the news. It doesn't matter. And so the more you protect your energy so that you can spend it the way you choose, it is your biggest asset, the more you will find you have more balance in your life. And when you have more balance in your life, you make better decisions.
Yeah.
I have the same mind things going on that most of you have.
Me too.
Is I can make a different decision because I've exercised that muscle to make sure that I do. Yeah. 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 And to have patience, Molson. Yeah. Patience is a thing that I struggle with big time. I know I can manifest things, but the time it takes. Yeah. But you know, you set it and let it. Just set it and let it. And just keep every day set and let whatever you want. And then be the observer, because it will show up, and not often in the way you expect. We don't get to control it that much. Yeah.
And to, you know, springboard off of that, when you come to understand that time is a gift, and here's how it's a gift. Even in that moment that we're having these thoughts and we're flicking away the ones that we don't want, yet we're in the process of replacing them with the ones that we want to create. The great thing about time is it gives you the chance and opportunity to continue to define how you want that to come to you.
Show up.
Or
Show up. Yeah, absolutely.
You want it to become.
Get to cultivate it.
Right.
It's like growing a garden, planting the seed.
You're molding that. You're molding and fashioning those creative ideas, those creative possibilities. So that's where it's like when you understand what time actually is, that time for the purpose of that creative process. When you give yourself that time, that's how you begin to understand the currency and flow of self. That way goes along. Anything that is utilized here in the outside world of currency just flows.
Yeah.
Draw it to you. It can be no other way.
I love that. I love that, Norma. It's like time is the most beautiful gift that Creator has given us. And it's taken me a long time to start to really become, I want to say, to choose that my version of Creator is not stingy with time. My version of Creator creates enough space that it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to make a few mistakes, It's like, I drove myself for years and years, and I still get into the habit, but I catch myself more and more often now and pull myself out of that, fear of time. It's almost like fear of love. Like time is like the loving frequency of expansion that Creator, like you said, Norma, we have an opportunity to refine and evolve. It's like time is evolution. And if we're going to evolve, we've got to go through some stuff. We've got to fall down and make some mistakes. We've got to, come back around. People often, when they come to me for readings, they'll say, oh, but I already did this. I healed this like 6 years ago when I ended my marriage. I healed all that already. And it's like, well, I've been shown that time, many of us understand that it moves in a spiral. So you may have healed this version of that particular wound, but now time has evolved you up here and you're coming back around the same wound point, but from a totally new perspective. Yeah. So you're not being punished by having to go around that again. You're actually being presented the gift of evolution, which is now you get to work on it from an even more advanced place. But again, we've been programmed to this linear, time moves in a straight line and you just go from here to there, and if you're not going upwardly mobile, there's something wrong with you. It's like shortcut central, and a lot of stinginess around time and a lot of fear of time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fascinating to, once you understand more and more and more of this, you're like, oh, I knew nothing. I still know nothing because I know there is so much more to learn. So when you always have that childlike wonderment and that openness that I'm willing to learn instead of, oh no, this is the way it is, that you're willing to hear different aspects and different perspectives and respect that because we're all seeing things differently. And we all have so much more to learn from each other, which is why I love getting together with you and having these conversations.
And isn't it beautiful? Like, it's almost like the spirit guides are saying with this Leo moon, it's like we get to help each other put our hearts back together again. Yeah. We each have different pieces of the fragment. And so we share the pieces we have. And have you ever noticed that, like, that most incredible thing that happens sometimes when you just are genuine sharing with someone, maybe even a stranger or someone you've just met? And it's like you can feel yourself activating a frequency together. And all of a sudden, it's like you're saying the thing that they most needed to hear, and they're saying the thing that you most needed to hear.
Yes.
And your hearts are just going like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Right? It's like, and that's the magic of all of this. Like, you just don't know. And I've often had the feeling, I'm like, I didn't say anything. I hardly said anything. It's just the obvious, right? And the person's like, oh my God, my heart is just like, you know, flourishing from that one little thing. And it's that's the beauty of sharing. And just, you know, we don't have to know a lot or be some extraordinary healer guru person. We just have to be really present with each other and authentic. And when you get into that zone together, magic happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the whole point of this life, is to create magic with whatever souls want to play together. Because when you do that, it brings you so much joy that it makes it easy to stay on a higher vibration. So find your tribe. Yes, Robert, thank you. Show some love. Hit the like button, please. I'm the worst for that because I'm always just so excited to chat. Yeah, absolutely. And share it with someone that needs to hear this message. We would love that. Absolutely. Do we want to do a little final card? Maybe what the moon wants to share with us tonight.
Ooh, okay.
And we will share with you the moon here in a minute.
I see it. Yeah, we actually talked about, didn't we talk about solar stuff last time? Anyway, I think it'll be interesting to talk about lunar perspectives. Ooh, fire, the king of fire. Okay. Whoa. Oh, yeah. All right. So this is cute. I'm like, okay, what are they saying? They're saying that was the fire. And so I don't know. I had all this energy that came through the reading I did for the Soul Sampler this week. It was all about love, and like it was a lot about romantic love. And I was like, okay, you know, sure, why not? Well, it's what I'm hearing and seeing is that the moon wants us to write poetry.
Oh,
it's almost like, you know, like Rumi. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be writing poetry to a particular beloved, although if you are or you want to, that's beautiful as well. That's a beautiful way to be inspired to do that. But yeah, because we've got the open heart, unconditional love card, and then we have kind of like the writer or penmanship or connector card. But it's like, yeah, to me, when I put those two together, I think of poetry. And it's so interesting that poetry has kind of gone out of fashion. You know, it used to be a way that people spoke. I mean, I guess song lyrics is a form of poetry. So yeah, maybe you're writing a song or you're writing a poem and you're kind of serenading the moon.
Beautiful.
There's this energy of serenading is what I'm being shown. Yeah, King of Cups. Let yourself go deep. And sometimes poetry can kind of get around the places that we are locked into our beliefs and our thought patterns. Poetry is like words and thoughts, but they operate like feelings. So,
oh yes.
and the other piece is, you know, this is such a beautiful time for putting offerings outside under the moon. So I like to make ancestor offerings pretty regularly.
Beautiful.
And this can be food. It can be some of your best, whatever you've made in the kitchen that tastes really good. Even if it's like, a tray of brownies. Well, you got to be careful with chocolate because you don't want the animals to get it. Put it somewhere that the animals can't get it. But with all other food, flowers, beautiful things, it's like lay out something on the earth under this full moon. Make an offering of either poetry, music, song, or food and flowers.
Beautiful.
Because the moon says that they'll feel it. The moon will feel it. The moon will feel our love.
Beautiful.
And it will magnify it. Norma, go, say it.
So this is what I'm getting. Since the moon's right here on my head. Okay. It's like the moon wants us to know it's not just one-sided. It's both. It's the feminine and the masculine. Mm-hmm. And if you want to write those words down, to understand the power and significance of paper because of the papacy, and in understanding that it's energy itself because it's made from wood, from the trees
and water.
Yes. So you have these alchemical tools outside of you to allow those words that come through the heart that you write down. At first, those expressions are of self, and you take that and you project it to another because you can see that in another through the expression of saying, this is for you, although it was about me. So that's where it's like you begin to understand the mirror effect of things first within self, because the masculine is recognizing the feminine and the feminine is recognizing the masculine. And then it's able to be projected in an expression to another to help them see that within themselves as well. That's what's so powerful about all this.
Yeah. Well, and if there's ever a moon to, serenade the beloved everywhere, all the beloveds, it's the Leo full moon. So
yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, beautiful words. Robert, animals ain't gonna get my chocolate. and Sydney's saying King of Wands is a Leo card. That was really beautiful.
That's right. King of Wands is a Leo card. Yeah. Yes, it is.
All right, let's show everyone the full moon. I'm gonna try and do this as
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over here where it's a little bit darker.
Thank you.
Now,
wow.
There we go. Ta-da!
Wow.
Yeah. Very beautiful today. Yeah, no complaints about that. So I know Norma's going to sit here. I've got to go pick up somebody at the airport. We have a guest arriving that we'll be podcasting with live. Yeah. Karina, who's also here in Mexico. She's flying down from Puerto Vallarta. So that'll be fun. And yeah, that was a beautiful message for everyone. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Yeah. Yeah. Little trifecta we got going on here with this.
Totally.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing you in person, Ashala.
Yes.
Oh yeah, right? Well, it's on the agenda. It's on the agenda.
I think we have the Debt Lake coming up in April again.
What's that?
The Debt Lake again in April.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, love. Well, we're going to let you go. Have a beautiful full moon. Yeah. Put some rose petals or flower buds in your bath tonight. Yeah.
Definitely.
Serenade for yourself. Yeah. All right. We love you guys. Bye.
Blessings, everyone. Bye.